How's everybody doing? Hey, we're so, and I hope beyond just to worship our. Sing together. Now I'm sad. I am safe. Days. I fix my eyes, follow me in the. You are, I am love. God, tonight we thank you for your victory over death. Be free so that we can know you. For all that you've
That's the Jesus I'm singing about. This is enraptured lovers with the beauty and the awesomeness that. Would you just pray God do it? There's going to be prayer every night you have, or will you have. The issue is He's what our heart was created to crave. The ultimate adventure. He is the ultimate adventure. And that can begin in a new way this week. Lead us in one more song. Would you continue to worship?
your presence, Lord.
Every in this room, you were with a craving in your soul. And when he doesn't respond to church, even though he wants to go. Yes. Become a craving of your soul. Will meet you in power this Holy Spirit, come here. Come this house. I love these guys teaching in here, half of them. It was all of them the first. And here that God brought me to the Romanian community, and I know it most of you can start in this room. I need some help. Or up, have lights. Okay, well turn that spot. All right, there you go. That's better. That's what we're going to find. Fact or fiction? Our eyes are always the same size from birth, but our noses never stop. Don't look at beside you. It is OMG was 17. All right, here we go. More. Let's do it. There's 3. Fact. Yes, ma'am. Justin Bieber has a lot of faults. That's not fact. That's false. Smelling apples and or bananas. Fact. Right? It's fact. Milk when they. Hillary Clinton won Miss Congeniality. And wants the best football. Listen to the same things. Line is contract from back potential. Oh, listen, drives you high. Okay, life for essential for their weapon system. Scores of the trainees on this training on this simulator, but I want to stand in front of a real enemy. You hear what I'm saying? Sometimes we can get confused what's fact, what's fiction, what's fantasy, what's actual, what's and melt you from the experience. So we're moving in that direction tonight. We're going to be reading from Hebrews here in just a minute. Our world is screaming for something real. Lie. Cheap. And what we've got to decide is, am I going to live up close and personal with a real God, a big God, not a small God? No, that's what I want. Real get off here. Our God who's encountered somebody who knows the facts and is willing to live them out. That saw the burning bush. Hebrews 11. By faith, Moses, when he became of age, refused affliction with the people of God that enjoyed, deeming the reproach of Christ greater riches than the treasures. By faith, he seeing him who is in of blood, lest he who destroyed the first Red Sea as by dry land, whereas the Egyptians, attempting to do so, were drowned. Wow, that sounds like an adventure for us to the stage because their video is really bad. Y'all think I need a parachute? I don't know, Ed. I love you, buddy. I just don't think I can do this. Excited, and I'll be down there in a minute. Okay. All right. Listen, here's the deal. You all know that Pharaoh was ordering all the male babies born to Israelites to be slaughtered, thrown in the river to the crocodiles. But his parents saw that he was to their own lives because they saw something in Moses that was different, and they delivered out of the Nile River by the Pharaoh. And he grew up in Pharaoh's household. He grew up in the palace. He grew up in the lap of luxury. He grew up with a silver. He grew up understood. Excuse me. Somebody bring me some water. Moses understood something. That the people that ruled over Egypt were powerful. They were wealthy. Moses, that was very religious, very dark, very sensual, very powerful. They were the most powerful nation on the earth. And he saw what it was all about. And there came a point molded by your desires that determines your destiny. Life determines your destiny. Moses was brought to the place of decision. I'm going to read that phrase again. It says, when he became of age, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing. Moses had life. He had it made. He was on the his people. He's watching them grind them into the ground to give them one palace, one more carving in granite, and he's part of it. And he has to make a choice. The first fact is life is a series of choices that can't be undone. My youth pastor is sitting on the front row. Pastor Seth, just stand up real quick and raise your hand. Come on. Give him a hand, would you? I'm glad he's here with us. John, several of us to get up and give them a little bit of wisdom as they transition from high school into the bigger world. And one of the things I told them to do, boom, is a series of choices that can't be undone. Perhaps they can be overcome and even utilized later, but there's no do-overs in life. You may get another chance to make that team. You may get another chance to win that prize, but you can't get the same chance back ever again. There's some things you just can't get a do-over on. Life is a series of choices, and we all make choices. Our life is directed and defined by our choices, and we're changed by our choices. Our identity is formed by our choices. Our perspective changes by our choices, and Moses was at the place of choice. He chose to suffer affliction with the people of God rather than enjoy the passing pleasures of sin. This was before the burning bush, by the way. Before the burning bush. All he had seen at this point was the ugly side of a powerful underbelly. Identify with God's people and to conform, I'm sure. That him with the Pharaoh, but get into his tomb. Vicious, cruel, sadistic. Either full of our conflict. Moses not embrace the people in pursuit of his people. Is we have cannot accept the full life for get along of this wealthy cultures will be made by default. Choose some choice by the very matter. Here you will. Sooner than you thought. Real stuff here. Guitar over here. Well, but our instructor was a 6-degree black and Christian, highest masters in Korea. And at the 5th level, they required him to go in and meditate. Tell you this, the nature of each or the other, our grip on. Understand that. And if you then letting go of some of this can be scary and painful. It really can. And I understand that. Listen, I didn't come here to rah-rah you. I didn't come here to be a cheerleader. I came here to tell you the truth. Can you handle If you think you can handle the truth, raise your hand. Sitting down and then choice. Pastor Gary, according to the world, as in the world, does the will of God. Ephesians 6:14, the crucified, the most difficult decision to make. Was it to break up with that guy? Who knows how long? Was it to placate a friend, to quit some sport or some endeavor? Difficult decision, the most difficult choice you've ever had to make. And here's my second question. I'm just going to let you think about that a couple of seconds. Just think about it a minute. I got another one to follow it up. Most difficult decision. I hope it wasn't what color of it wasn't where to sit tonight. That might have been a difficult decision. God bless you. Decision. Most difficult choice. Here's my next question. Why? Any of your most difficult choices were, but I can tell you why. I can tell you why it was difficult. Because something you treasured was at stake. Treasure that is at stake, the more difficult the decision becomes. Yes? I mean, if I've been fill me full of holes, then it's off that stage to a whole new level, doesn't it? You see that? Because the stakes are higher. So our decisions or our choices are more difficult. Does that mean something that matters to me is that the decision gets all the more difficult? Can you understand what I'm saying? But now, if the only thing that happens to me for jumping off this stage is Aline frowns at me, scolds me, well, that would hurt my feelings. But it didn't stop me from doing it. You've got choices in your life. And I'm telling you this, and this is the next thing that we're talking about, and it's this, that we make choices that are molded by our desires or the things we treasure. Go to the next slide, if you would. Life is the things we treasure, they move us to our, come on, go with me. We all make price tag paper. Jonathan, let's make these today. Piece of paper with a facsimile of a price tag on it. Every time I value something, I'm putting a price tag on it. About everything in my life. If I step on my brother's shoe, I'll find out how much he values those shoes. Hopefully he wouldn't hit me if I did on his shoe if he rags. But what we do is everything in our lives, and let's face it, you got a higher your sister, your brother, or your boyfriend than you do on him. My youth pastor, I love him. He's an awesome guy, so I put a pretty high value on it. It's a high price. And my sons are here somewhere, the drummer and the guitar player, and my daughter-in-law is here. I put a high price on them. They're mine. I treasure them. And some of you, I've never seen you before, and I treasure you. But can you agree with me? We treasure people differently, don't we? Depending on how much we have invested in them, how close they are to us, how much impact they have on our lives, whether they're blood relationship, whether they're on our team. You do, I do. I put them on my clothes. I put them on my car. I put them on my glasses. I put the phone. I have price tags, dollar signs. Here's the kicker. The way I value things, the things I do. Came to the place, it said that he esteemed the reproach of Christ. That pulled out the price tag, and he put a price on the riches of Egypt, and then he put a price is worth more. I will leave Pharaoh's house. I will defend my people, and all of this thing. You did it today. Everyone here, you did this today. You put a price tag on somebody today. You put a price tag on something today. Everybody here. You put a price tag on it. I'm not saying a dollar sign, even though this does have a dollar sign on it. Because that's what we understand price tags to be, isn't it? Dollar signs. But I'm telling you, and the way we make in life, I'm with Jesus for a boyfriend or girlfriend than anything else. More than drugs, more than booze, more than whatever, more than career, more than anything. I've seen more young people lose their walk with Jesus because they hooked up with the wrong person that didn't love Jesus. They put a price tag on relationship. And I'm saying every day of our lives, when you stay asleep, you put a price tag on something. Something to value something aside more than you did hanging out. Gary, we just agree. Valued as the ultimate value in your life. That world is saying to us, what you got? Show me what you got that I want. What you got? What you got? What you got? What you got that I should want? What you got that I should get up on Sunday morning for? What you got that I ought to spend 30 minutes? What you got? You got something better than free sex? You got something better than more money? You got something better than success? You got something better than being better? What do you got? See, we got the free sex, we got the success, we got the money, we got the bling bling, we got the excitement, we got all of the things that Egypt can buy. So what you got? Is it worth all of that? What you got? And I'm going to tell you something. Your friends at school, and you're about to go back to school, a lot of you, your friends going to be watching you. If you've been an out loud Christian enough that you've identified, I identify as an African American, by the way. Not really. How do you identify? You identify Christian at school? Do you identify as a Christian at work? Do you identify as a Christian at the gym? Do you identify? Moses identified with the people of God rather than get what they got. He lost all what they got. But he had to win in ticket. He had to win in price tag. Because when they looked at Moses and Pharaoh said, what you got, Mo? Mo said, let the water turn to blood. Mo said, let the frogs climb up out in your palace, Mo. What else you got? He said, well, there's gnats and there's hail and fire and there's, that angel of death thing. Don't mess with that. What you got, Mo? I got the God of all the universe on my side. What you got, Pharaoh? The angel on telling Moses made it in half. Listen, I just want the price. What? And asking you what? You know what Moses discovered? He discovered that everything that glitters ain't gold. Everything that glittered in Egypt wasn't wonderful. To what you worth. We got one more to make. It's sting it. Back price tags by paying for them. You can love for Jesus through next relationship. On our word just on. Put that same. Him and his brother were going to sell the dad's house. And about the price, well, just ain't worth it. You don't pay. You're worth what Jesus paid for you. He put a price on you and said he's worth it. He's worth me coming down and confining myself to a human body. He's worth me coming down and and getting mocked by my own people. He's worth me getting beaten and spit on and mocked and ridiculed and crucified. He's mocked. He's worth me being lied about. He's worth it. Put a price on you. He said, I'll pay everything. Pay everything. Born, pay it for you. What are you going to put on him? Because see, you're putting something on him every day. You're putting something on him every day by whether you stand up, by whether you talk to him, by whether you worship him, by whether you give of yourself to his cause. You are putting a price on Jesus. And I'm going to tell you, the price he put on you is I'll give it all. I'll give it all for Jonathan Coker. I'll give it all. Give it all. Didn't hold anything back. See, the third truth. Moses, well, let me just say this. Moses had his price tag flipped at some point. I don't know when it happened. I don't know. At one point, he's enjoying the luxury and the privilege of Egypt's high society. And in the next moment, he flips it. Turns all the values on their head and says, all of that's rubbish compared to the surpassing value of knowing my Lord. Compared to suffering with God's people. Compared to the reproach of Christ. The script got flipped. At some point, the price tags got confused. What is it? And they're selling. And so iPhones are not selling for $500. They're selling for $5. Give me some of that. 99 cents. Boy, people all and rake in all those price changes. You see, we'd be glad for the prices to go down, but what if them cost a change? Moses' psyche changed. And he went to clinging to the... And this is only by what we desire that moves us to our destiny. You see, don't impact. I think the way I put it is choices. Christianity is worthless. Discount Christianity is worthless. It don't matter to you. It costing you something nobody you've got. Hear what I'm saying. Is it worth suffering for? Nobody you know will want what you've put the price tag on. Nobody could get a 1-carat diamond for you. You might as well on your story about a man named D.L. without the benefit of Jesus. He was one day said through spirit about that statement said in his soul, man. I will be the man wholly yielded to the Holy Spirit because I want my world to see the beauty and the greatness of my based on his desires that molded his destiny. And from there, the people that were converted to Christ in his ministry leaped to new heights. Encounter with God that flipped all his price tags. Walking through the streets of New York City and to the nearest little he testified that the way has so intense. His choice based on affected his destiny and the destiny of. I want you to bow your heads. Moses made choices before the burning bush destiny. Jesus wants to flip your price tag tonight. Some of you're just away from some treasure experience. I want you to do something. I hope you have a pen if you think that price tag. Write them. Go ahead. Get you a pen out. If you still direct you to write things that matter to you. I have a bunch of pen in it. This is you haven't had a around. You may be tonight responsive. Show someone can speak and you make the choice. Still have one in your hand. Write Jesus on the other side. Just write Jesus on the. Don't worry, on the other side of the table. On the other side. Are you ready to door? We'll end up in the dump, or in the grave. You might be short, and you when you chose you instead of her. I wish I'd have chose you instead. Because you're the. Make this move. You wait your price 2 ways. God can elect until you are facing His presence. You can putting price in your hands to Jesus way down to readjust your price structure. Do it now because the Spirit of God. Another thing that can happen is it's all upside down and inside out, and that's your own little burning bush experience. Encountering it in this camp if you want it. Structure. I'm going to make 2 calls. I'm going to make 2 appeals. And I don't want you to sit and look at your neighbor and decide if they're going to go before you go. That ain't no good in God's eyes. Either you got the price flipped and you know in your heart there's no more than Jesus. And you want to give it to Him. You want to put it in His care and control. I'm not saying you're going to lose everything on that you wrote down singing. You're saying, I surrender. I surrender. I put it in your care and control. But above all, I've got to have you above all things. At any cost, all the time, forever. You are the only non-negotiable in my life, Jesus. And I offer everything else into your care and your control because I trust you to do what's best for me. But I've got to flip the tag. And I got to say, all of this is yours. You're worth all of this. I put it in your care and control, and I'm ready to do that. I know I'm ready to do that. I want you to get up out of your seat and come down here and find you a place to pray. Come on. Come on. I got another call if that's not. This is for you. Hit us a tag with you. I'm willing for you to change my heart. And I'm willing for you to take my fear away. And I'm willing for you to give me a burning bush so that's on you and not the other important things of my life. I'm willing if you can help me and change me. Come on. Everybody. And I want to tell you, just lost my walk with God over a woman one time. I was in Bible college. And I fell in love with this girl. And the Son of God said to me, no. I mean, I walked in my dorm room, and when I closed the door, it was like, Spirit of God said, yes. And I said yes for the next 3. By the time, that was my senior year, the spring of my senior year. I was supposed to go to place called Teen Challenge. I don't know if any of you know about it. I was so messed up, I had to call him and tell him I can't come. I can't come, man. I'm messed up. I went home after graduation every night crying out to God because I knew I put the price tag in the wrong place. I didn't even trust myself anymore. I didn't trust my love for God anymore. It took me months and months to recover from that choice. And by the way, she said no. By God's grace and mercy, she said no. I didn't propose. She just, after a few dates, it was done, but I wasn't done. I wasn't doing anything about it anymore. I just know my place. Damage to my soul. Jesus is to Him, and I want you to yield it to Him tonight and commit your heart to seeking His face this week and get all the prices right. Get all the prices right. And ask Him for your own burning bush revelation of His infinite worth. Come on, sing for us, Michael. Would you lift it up to Jesus right now? Come on, lift it up to Him. We're not playing games here. This is not virtual. This, you'll make it.
Surrendering all.
Change me, Jesus. Flip my prices.
Find me,
Still my heart.
Lord, as you
Capture me, Lord. Jesus, do it, Jesus.
Oh,
Nothing is worth more than you. No more than your treasure, oh God. Oh, of the treasure of our heart, open our soul. Let us see your shine.